It started on a Tuesday morning. The kind of dull, ordinary morning that shouldn't mark the beginning of anything. I was at the coffee shop, and the barista stared straight through me like I was an empty space in line. She called out, "Next," even though I was standing right in front of the counter, card in hand. I cleared my throat, said, "Excuse me," a bit louder than I meant to, and she jumped, like I just appeared out of thin air. She laughed awkwardly, apologized, and took my order, but her eyes kept sliding past my face, like my features wouldn't stick. "My name is Hannah Moore. I'm 29, I live in Chicago, and at the time I told myself it was nothing. Just a small, forgettable human mistake." By the end of that week though, I wasn't so sure I existed in a way that mattered anymore. It started with little things. My coworker Dana introduced herself to me for the third time in 2 days, smiling brightly, saying she was terrible with names, even though we'd shared a cubicle wall for over a year. My manager asked me to resend an email I'd already sent that morning because he didn't remember getting it, but my sent folder showed it opened. I felt like I was living a half second out of sync with the world. When I called my mom that Sunday, she answered with a polite, distant voice. When I said, "It's me, Hannah," there was a pause long enough for my stomach to knot. Then, confused, she asked, "Hannah who?" I laughed, because what else do you do when reality cracks like that? But she didn't laugh back. She sounded embarrassed, said she must be tired, promised to call me back later. She never did. The next day, I drove to her house. I stood in the doorway while she stared at me with the same strained politeness. When I said, "Mom, it's me," she stepped back, just slightly, but enough to show fear. She asked who I was and why I was calling her Mom. I left before she could call someone, my hands shaking so badly I almost dropped my keys. After that, the forgetting accelerated. It was like a switch had been flipped. People stopped retaining me altogether. My friends didn't just forget plans, they forgot the plans were ever made with me. When I spoke, they listened with the polite confusion you give a stranger who talks too much. My name stopped appearing on group chats, then on emails. I tried to log into my work account, and it told me the user didn't exist. HR smiled sympathetically and asked who I was there to see. I went home and tried to ground myself in proof. I scrolled through my phone, but my text threads were empty, my call history wiped clean. My social media profiles were still there, but wrong. My pictures were slightly blurred, my tags gone, comments missing, likes reduced to 0. I posted a status asking if anyone could see it. The only response was a stranger asking why an empty account was posting nonsense. That night, I stood in my bathroom, staring at my reflection, repeating my name out loud. For a moment, the face in the mirror lagged like a bad video feed. My mouth moved a fraction too late. When I touched the glass, my reflection's hand didn't quite meet mine. I stopped sleeping after that. I just stayed awake watching the world slide further away. People's eyes passed over me in public like I was a trick of the light. The police couldn't help. I tried to report it, and the officer kept asking for my ID. When I handed it to him, he frowned and asked where I'd gotten a fake like that. He said the name didn't come up in their system. The address didn't exist. He looked back at me, his eyes slid away, and he asked the next person in line how he could help them. I realized then that it wasn't just memory I was losing. It was record, trace, weight. The invisible agreement that says a person is real because others acknowledge them. Without it, I was dissolving. The physical changes came slowly. My footsteps grew quieter, my reflection fainter. My voice became harder to hear, even when I screamed. One night, I knocked over a glass in my kitchen. I watched it fall through my hand like mist, shattering on the floor while my fingers passed through empty space. Panic became constant, a buzzing under my skin. I did the only thing I could think of. I went to the hospital. I walked into the EA, grabbed a nurse's arm, and begged her to help me. She looked down at the hand gripping her sleeve with widening horror. From her perspective, there was nothing there. Just fabric tugging itself, air pressing where fingers should be, and she screamed. They locked the room down, alarms blaring. I stood there, invisible and unreal, while security searched for a threat that didn't exist. And then I understood. I wasn't disappearing because people were forgetting me. People were forgetting me because I was disappearing. In the quiet that followed, I felt something else, not fear, but a presence. A vast, patient awareness, like the world itself had rules I'd violated without knowing, and now it was correcting the error. I remembered things then, not from my life, but something older. A sense that forgetting wasn't absence, it was a process. When no one holds you in their mind, you start to slip between moments, between glances, between thoughts. And whatever space you fall into is already occupied. I began to notice others there. Reflections without sources, impressions without bodies. People who brushed past me without a touch, their faces hollow with the same dawning understanding. They were the ones who'd gone missing. The people whose names faded from conversations, whose photos blurred, whose stories ended with shrugs and I don't remember. We were still here, in a way, layered under the living world like a shadow cast by memory itself. We watched as the living forgot us, not out of cruelty, but necessity because remembering us hurt, because we didn't fit anymore. The last time I saw my mother, she walked past me in the grocery store. Her cart bumped through where I stood. For a split second, she stopped, frowned, and rubbed her arm like she'd felt a chill. I leaned close, whispered, "I love you," with everything I had left. She shivered, looked around, and hurried away, forgetting the moment before it even finished happening. I don't know how long it's been now. Time doesn't behave the same when no one is counting you. But I know this, if you ever feel someone's presence and can't place it, if you forget a name the moment it's spoken, if you look at a photo and feel like someone should be there but isn't, it's not your imagination. It's just the world making room. And one day, if you're not careful, it might decide it has room to forget you too. Thanks for watching. I stopped sleeping 6 days ago, not by choice. I'm terrified of what happens when I close my eyes. My name is Marcus Webb. I'm 17 and I think I'm a murderer. Not with my hands, with my dreams. It started 3 weeks ago with Mrs. Patterson, my neighbor. Sweet old lady who always had cookies ready when I'd mow her lawn. I had a random dream about her showing me her garden, talking about her roses. Nothing weird, just a normal dream. She died the next morning. Heart attack while watering those same roses. I didn't think anything of it. She was 81. These things happen. I went to her funeral, cried with everyone else, moved on. Then I dreamed about Marcus Thompson, this kid from my chemistry class. In the dream, we were lab partners working on some experiment. He was laughing about something. I woke up and forgot about it until fourth period when Principal Davidson's voice came over the intercom. Students and staff, I have tragic news. Marcus Thompson was killed in a car accident this morning on his way to school. My stomach dropped. 2 people. 2 dreams. 2 deaths. That's when the panic started creeping in. I told myself it was coincidence, confirmation bias. I probably dreamed about dozens of people and only remembered the ones who died. Right? That night, I dreamed about my English teacher, Mr. Cardoza. We were discussing The Great Gatsby. He was telling me about themes of the American dream, normal class stuff. I woke up at 3 a.m. in cold sweat. Checked my phone obsessively, waiting for news. Hoping I was wrong, praying I was being paranoid. The email came at 7:15 a.m. Dear students, we regret to inform you that Mr. Cardoza passed away unexpectedly last night. Grief counselors will be available. I threw up right there at my desk. My mom thought I was sick with grief. She had no idea I was sick with guilt. 3 people, 3 dreams, 3 deaths within 24 hours. I stopped sleeping. Stayed up all night doing homework, watching movies, scrolling through my phone. Anything to keep my eyes open. My mom noticed. Marcus, honey, you look terrible. Are you sleeping okay? I'm fine, Mom. Just stressed about college applications. I made it 2 nights. On the 3rd night, I passed out at my desk at 4 a.m. Only an hour of sleep, but it was enough. I dreamed about Sarah Chun, my best friend since middle school. We were at our favorite diner, sharing fries like we'd done 100 times. She was telling me about her crush on Jake Martinez, laughing, happy, alive. I woke up screaming, grabbed my phone and called her immediately. 4:47 a.m. She didn't answer. I called again, and again, and again. At 5:30 a.m. she finally picked up. Marcus? What the hell? It's 5:30 in the morning. Sarah, I was crying. Sarah, I need you to stay home today. Please, don't go anywhere. Don't drive. Don't leave your house. What? Why? What's wrong? I can't explain. Please just trust me. Stay home. Lock your doors. Don't go anywhere. You're scaring me. Good, be scared. Just stay alive. I hung up and spent the entire day texting her every hour, making sure she was okay. She thought I was having a breakdown. She wasn't wrong. By midnight, she was still alive. I'd broken the pattern. I hadn't slept enough for the dream to work, or she'd avoided whatever was supposed to kill her by staying home. Either way, she survived. That's when I knew it was real. I wasn't crazy. My dreams were killing people. I told Sarah everything the next day. She didn't believe me at first, thought I was having some kind of psychotic break triggered by grief. But she's Sarah. She knows me. After I showed her my dream journal with dates matching the obituaries, she went pale. Marcus ... What are we going to do? I don't know. I can't never sleep again. That's not sustainable. But if I sleep, I might dream about someone, and then they'll die. We tried everything. Sleep medication that suppressed REM sleep didn't work. I still dreamed. Lucid dreaming techniques to control my dreams couldn't do it. I even tried getting drunk enough to pass out without dreaming. Still dreamed. The longest I made it was 4 days. Then I collapsed during gym class. Hit my head. Concussion. They made me go to the hospital. They sedated me for the CT scan. I dreamed about my little sister Emma. She's 12. In the dream, we were playing video games in the living room. She was beating me at Mario Kart and rubbing it in like she always does. God, she was so alive in that dream. So happy, so young. I woke up in the hospital screaming for a phone. The nurses tried to calm me down, but I was hysterical. They thought the concussion was worse than they thought. Finally got them to let me call home. Mom, where's Emma? She's at school, honey. You need to rest. Get her out of there. Now, please, Mom, trust me. Something bad is going to happen. Marcus, you're not making sense. The doctor said you might be confused from, Mom, get Emma out of that school right now. She heard something in my voice that scared her. 20 minutes later, she called back. She'd pulled Emma out of school. The administration was annoyed, but she didn't care. At 2:47 p.m., there was a gas leak in Emma's school. 3 classrooms evacuated. Emma's classroom, if she'd been there, had a small explosion. 2 kids hospitalized. If Emma had been at her desk. My mom never asked how I knew. She's terrified of me now. I can see it in her eyes. That was 2 days ago. I haven't slept since. I'm writing this at 3:34 a.m. on day 6 of no sleep. I'm hallucinating, seeing shadow people in corners, hearing voices. My body is shutting down. Sarah stayed over tonight to make sure I stay awake. She's downstairs making coffee, strong coffee. We're planning in shifts. She keep me awake for 12 hours, then her boyfriend Jake will take the next shift. We can't keep this up forever, but what choice do I have? I feel myself fading. My eyes closing. Sarah's voice is getting distant. I try to call out, but nothing comes. The darkness is pulling me under. I'm dreaming. No. I'm at a funeral. I can see the coffin. People crying. My mom, my dad, Sarah, Jake, they're all there. I walk closer to see whose funeral it is. I see the name on the program in my mother's shaking hands. Marcus Webb, beloved son and friend. It's my funeral. I see myself in the coffin. Eyes closed, peaceful, dead. The program says cause of death, fatal insomnia. Died in his sleep after 6 days without rest. I try to scream, try to wake up, but the dream holds me. And I realize the horrible truth. I've been so focused on not dreaming about other people that I never considered I might dream about myself. I'm going to die today. In less than 24 hours, because I dreamed about my own death. Sarah is shaking me awake. Marcus, wake up. You fell asleep. I'm awake now. It's 4:02 a.m. I have until tomorrow, maybe sooner. The countdown has started. I'm writing this as a warning. If you develop this ability, this curse, don't fight it. Don't try to stay awake. Because eventually, inevitably, you'll dream about yourself. And that's the one death you can't prevent. It's getting hard to type. My hands are shaking. Everything hurts. Sarah is crying, begging me to stay awake, but I can't feel it happening. My body is giving up, heart slowing down, breathing getting shallow. The fatal insomnia is killing me, just like I saw in the dream. I'm so tired. If you're reading this, tell my family I'm sorry. Tell Emma to keep practicing Mario Kart. Tell Sarah she was the best friend anyone could ask for. And whatever you do, don't fall asshole. I should have blocked her number the first time it happened. But how do you block your dead best friend? Let me back up. My name is Maya Rodriguez, and I'm a 21-year-old college student in Chicago. 3 months ago, my best friend Sarah Chun died in a car accident on the Kennedy Expressway. I watched them lower her casket into the ground. I threw a white rose onto the polished wood. I held her mother while she sobbed into my shoulder. Sarah was dead, gone, never coming back. So when her name lit up my phone screen 2 weeks later at 3 a.m., my heart stopped. It was a Thursday night, technically Friday morning. I'd fallen asleep on my couch in my cramped studio apartment in Wicker Park, some true crime documentary still playing on Netflix. My phone buzzed on the coffee table, dragging me from sleep. Sarah Chun. A message notification. Now, my blood turned to ice. I grabbed the phone with shaking hands, convinced I was dreaming, but the cold glass felt real. The notification was real. The message read, "Maya, help me." I dropped the phone like it had burned me. It clattered onto the hardwood floor. Screen up, Sarah's name still glowing in the darkness. My pulse hammered in my ears. This wasn't possible. This was some sick joke. Maybe her mom had her phone. Maybe her little brother was pranking me, but the typing indicator appeared. 3 dots pulsing. Someone was typing, right now. I'm so cold. My hands flew to my mouth. Tears spilled down my cheeks before I even realized I was crying. This couldn't be happening. Sarah was dead. I'd seen her body at the wake. Pale, wrong, not Sarah in a dress she would have hated. Another message. Why didn't you come for me? Stop it, I whispered to my empty apartment. Stop it, stop it, stop it. But my phone kept buzzing. I screamed for you. It's dark here. I can't breathe. I should have called someone. My mom. The police. A priest. Anyone. Instead, with trembling fingers, I typed back, "Who is this?" The reply was instant. "You know who I am. You left me." I didn't sleep that night. I sat on my couch, phone in hand, waiting for more messages. They stopped after that last one, but I watched her WhatsApp status obsessively. Last seen, 3:47 a.m. That was impossible. Sarah's phone had been destroyed in a crash. The police had told her parents. I'd been there when they given back her personal effects, a twisted gold necklace, one mangled AirPod, her student ID, no phone. When the sun finally rose over Chicago's skyline, I convinced myself I'd imagined it. Grief does strange things to people, right? Maybe I was having a breakdown. Finals were coming up. I hadn't been sleeping well. I went to class, grabbed coffee at the Starbucks on campus where Sarah and I used to study, tried to feel normal. Then, during my afternoon psychology lecture, my phone vibrated. Sarah Chen, last seen today at 3 p.m. My professor's voice faded to background noise. The lecture hall felt too hot, too crowded. I couldn't breathe. I opened our chat. No new messages, but I scrolled up through our history. The last real conversation we'd had was the night she died. Sarah at 10:47 p.m. Heading home, traffic is insane. Me at 10:48 p.m. Drive safe, babe. Text when you get home. She never texted back. But now, below that final exchange, new messages had appeared. You promised to keep me safe. I'm still waiting, Maya. Come find me. I left class. Called her mom from the parking lot with shaking hands. Mrs. Chen? Hi, it's Maya. This is going to sound crazy, but you have Sarah's phone. Silence. Then, Maya honey, Sarah's phone was destroyed. They never recovered it. Why? I couldn't tell her. How do you tell a grieving mother that her dead daughter is texting you? Never mind. Sorry. I thought I saw something. That night I blocked the number. I had to. This was either a cruel prank or I was losing my mind, and either way I couldn't handle it. Blocking her didn't help. The messages came through Instagram, Facebook Messenger, even LinkedIn, for God's sake. Always at 3 a.m. Always the same desperate pleas. I'm trapped. They won't let me leave. You're the only one who can hear me. I stopped sleeping. Started seeing a therapist. Dr. Patel suggested complicated grief, maybe a psychotic break. She prescribed medication. I didn't tell her that Sarah's last seen, updated every single day at exactly 3 a.m. 2 months after the first message, I couldn't take it anymore. I drove to Graceland Cemetery on a freezing December night, my breath fogging in the air. The gates were locked, but I climbed the fence, something the old Maya would never have done. The old Maya died with Sarah. I found her grave by phone flashlight. Fresh flowers from her parents, A teddy bear someone had left. Her headstone read, Sarah Michelle Chun, 2003 to 2024. Forever in our hearts. I sat in the frost-covered grass and whispered, Sarah? If you're really here, if this is really you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I wasn't there. I'm sorry I couldn't save you. My phone buzzed. Sarah Chun. Look behind you. My blood froze. Slowly, heart pounding, I turned. Nothing. Just rows of headstones disappearing into darkness. Another buzz. Not there. Look at my grave. I aimed my flashlight at the ground in front of her headstone. The grass was disturbed. Not overgrown, disturbed. Like something had pushed up from below. They buried me alive, Maya. I woke up in the dark. I screamed until my voice was gone. I scratched at the wood until my fingers bled. I'm still here. I'm still screaming. I scrambled backward, phone clattering from my hands. This wasn't real. This couldn't be real. Sarah had died on impact. The medical examiner confirmed it. There was no way. My phone screen illuminated the grave, one final message appearing. Dig. I didn't dig. I ran. I ran until my lungs burned and my legs gave out 3 blocks away. Called 911 from someone's front porch, sobbing incoherently about messages and graves and my dead best friend. The police investigated. They found nothing disturbed. No evidence of grave tampering. They suggested I seek psychiatric help. But here's the thing they don't know. Sarah's texts haven't stopped. Every night at 3 a.m., my phone lights up. And yesterday, her message was different. I'm not alone down here anymore. Your turn soon. See you at 3 a.m. It's 2:58 a.m. right now. My phone just buzzed. Sarah Chun is typing ... I should have dug.